Hi, Tim Dorian, and this is my case study on parent apathy. So what we know there is a first-year principal. She's assistant principal here at the John F. Kennedy School, and her name is Miss Rose. So far, the school has little to no contact with the community. In the past, they've had a PTA, but for whatever reason, it has been disbanded or has just been inactive for the last several years. The head principal is apprehensive, unsupportive of the creation or the rejuvenation of PTA support groups, and he claims he says that he's got his finger on the pulse from parent conferences and from talking on the phone with parents. Well, that at most we're talking like 10 or 15 parents there. Like, that's not the whole community there. And he blatantly says that he will not accept a PTO or PTA, but he would allow an advisory group. So initially he turns down Miss Rose. Miss Rose comes back and is going to get the go-ahead, and she is allowed to call a special meeting on parent involvement, which 8 parents show up. It's on a Monday night. 8 parents show up. And the principal was kind of looking around. Miss Rose, principal, is standing at the back before the meeting. Principal turns to her and says, hey, there's only 8 parents here. All the absent parents, they're not going to get a say in this, so we need to go ahead and cancel this meeting. He doesn't think they should go forward with it because of the low turnout. But he also says that he keeps his finger on the pulse from just that handful of parents. So that kind of throws a big red flag for me. So what do we need to know? We need to know the SES of the community. We need to know when people are working. We need to know what types of jobs they're doing. That kind of determines their availability, right? Typically, low SES communities do a lot of service industry work, which is going to be after 5 or 6 o'clock. A lot of working nights, overnights. And that's outside of school hours, right? So we as a school need to know about our community, about the jobs that they have, so that we know when to be able to plan around those times and make sure that we are accommodating them. Also, SES is going to determine the availability of technology. We like to think that everybody's got the internet, and everybody's got a phone, and all that good stuff, but that's just not actually the case. If you're struggling to pay your electric bill, you're definitely not going to have internet. So we need to know about the SES to know how to best communicate and work with our community. So along with that, we need to know what is effective. Is paper effective? Is the phone effective? Is email? Is Twitter? Is Facebook? Is YouTube? What is the best mode of communication with our families? Does our district have a PR department? Is there somebody that's their job, or that we can at least lean on to try and get some of this data and try and get some of these resources? We also need to know why the principal is against this. Has he tried and failed in the past? Is he just apathetic himself? Is he kind of power hungry and doesn't want to listen to anybody else, thinks he knows best? Like, what is the deal? Why is he against this meeting and against having this community involvement in the school? We also need to know about who was in charge of the announcement. If it was Miss Rose, I would tell her that she did a terrible job of it. If it was the principal, I would assume, or at least kind of in reading between the lines here, that there is a little bit of malice in kind of why it was so cryptic. That it was a special meeting on parent involvement and didn't really tell anything about the meeting. We also need to know how it was communicated. Was it just given over the intercom? Was it sent home on paper? Like, what was going on with that announcement, and why was it so essentially unhelpful? So our problem, if we're kind of looking at our big 3 here. So our first one's going to be the lack of communication. This is between Miss Rose and the principal, as well as the school and the parents. Miss Rose and the principal, they're kind of butting heads a little bit over this issue. And for whatever reason, she is not able to convince him of the importance of having this outreach, having this community input in the school. So that's definitely going to be an issue that needs to be addressed. Also, lack of communication from the school to the parents. Like I was just talking about, the announcement was horribly written, and that's why you had the low, I would assume, that's why you had the low turnout. If that's not the case, if that's not the reason for the low turnout, then we need to figure out what that is. And the community needs to give that back to the school. So that two-way communication between the school and the parents is a definite issue right now. The principal is unwilling to assist. And kind of talk about that Miss Rose and the principal part of this. We need to, or this needs to get fixed. This is unacceptable. Right now, we kind of got to determine why that's an issue. Why is he so unwilling? And why is he so willing to accept just the current status quo? Because he's just very much is, oh, it's not going to work. That's just how it is here. Rather than why is he not willing to put in that work, I guess is what I'm getting at there. And then our third point, our parents. Now, we've kind of talked about it already, that there's obviously low turnout at the meeting. I would assume that at conferences and things like that, there's also a low turnout. And we need to figure out why that is. Why are there no parents willing to or able to show up? Why are there no active school and community groups, PTO, booster club, whatever the case may be? So we need to figure that out from the parents' point of view, why they are not there, why they are not active. So my plan, first of all, we're not canceling that meeting. We are going to continue that meeting with those 8 people. We're all going to sit around a table. We're going to get nice and close and intimate, and we're going to figure out kind of where the mistake was. Where was the misstep? Why are there only 8 of you here? Is it due to nobody knew about it? Nobody understood what the meeting was going to be about, so nobody showed up? Is everybody at work? What's going on? Why is no one here? Then we're going to have kind of a sign up. We're going to say, hey, is anybody willing to, head this group? Is anybody, interested in that? Would you be interested in being an active leader or whatever, however we would define that, for their next meeting? We're going to say that next meeting is going to be in 2 weeks. So we're going to use that time to kind of get the word out and hopefully get some more people in to get this thing up and running. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get together, again, I'm taking this from a high school point of view, I'm going to get together with the middle schools, the elementary schools, and figure out, did you guys have high participation when these kids were there? How did you do it? How did you get parents in the building? What happened? What worked? What didn't work? And work with those other buildings that have already had these families to, kind of, hopefully there was participation at the other levels and we can kind of continue that trend. So along with that, with those families and hopefully that they are having that participation, we're going to find out who those key families are. Who's the third grade room mom, and who's, the team mom for baseball or, whatever over the summer. And we're going to figure out what families are involved. I'm going to contact them directly and, see, hey, here's a new group that we're starting up. We heard that you were a big participant in middle school, elementary school, whatever. Would you like to continue that kind of a deal? My third step is going to be create a common vision. This is going to be between myself and the principal. We're both going to have to be on the same page. We're both going to have to outline what we want from this group. And it seems more so than not that I'm going to have to kind of talk him into it. That I'm going to have to explain the benefits of having the community involved. That it is something that we should want rather than something that we should be actively sabotaging. And then I'm also going to bring in staff members, kind of create our own needs assessment, right? What do we need from the community? And also, what can we provide to the community? What can we do for the people around us to help make this more of a partnership rather than, give me, right? And then our fourth part, or our fourth step, excuse me, we're going to use the next 2 Fridays to make this a thing, to make this group happen. It's not going to happen unless we want it to. We're going to have to hype it up. We are going to have to, shoot off fireworks and bang the drum to get people to want to come to this meeting and want to be a part of our school. So we're going to send out a media blast. It's going to be paper, phone, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever the case, whatever we got, Phone Master, whatever the deal is. We're going to use what we have to get the word out. We are going to, slap it on telephone poles if we have to. We're going to be out, standing at the 4-way stop, waving flags, whatever we got to do to get people to want to come to this meeting. And that message is not going to be vague. It is not going to be, hey, come to this special meeting. It's going to be, we are making a PTO. We are creating a booster club. We are doing whatever we are doing. We're going to put a name to it. We're going to put, who's in charge from the school side, whether that's me, myself, whether there are some teachers who wanted to take the lead on it, whatever's the case. We are going to be specific. We are going to have, at this date, at this time. It's not going to be 2 weeks from next Monday on the 4th Monday after the 2nd Tuesday of the month. Like, that's ridiculous. So it needs specific date, facts only, kick it out there, and make sure that we are allowing people to know when this is going to happen. Part C here, we're going to have established goals for the meeting. In the case study, it kind of seemed like that, hey, we're going to have this meeting and we're going to see what happens once everybody shows up. That's not how things work. You need to have established goals. You need to have, like we said, from the staff side, hey, here's what the school needs. From the community side, that's that needs assessment, right? Hey, here's what we need. And try to get together, and hopefully we can, very easily fix some of those problems. Even if it's, hey, we need somebody to come in for a career day. Okay, well, hey, I work with explosives down at the mine. Kids would love that. Come on in. If it was, hey, the community, we have a festival coming up. Hey, the band's not doing anything Saturday. They can come down and play. Whatever the deal is, that just little things that hopefully we can get those together, get something done to kind of start that ball rolling. And then we're going to have, at that second meeting, we're going to have that sign-up sheet, whether it's a Google Doc, whether it's actual physical copy, whatever the case may be, to let the parents take some leadership, let the parents take an active role in this group and kind of make it their own. And our point 4 here, we're going to make sure that our meeting times work for our families. If the meeting needs to be at noon, the meeting's going to be at noon. If the meeting needs to be at 6 o'clock at night, it's going to be at 6 o'clock at night. It needs to be at 8 o'clock in the morning. Guess what? We're having breakfast at the meeting. Come on down. So we need to work for our community. We can't always, make things comfortable, make things work for the schools, because the schools are servants of the community. And our 5th point here, with our second meeting, it's going to be streamed. It's going to be online. It's going to be on Facebook Live. It's going to be on YouTube. And that's going to allow those families who cannot attend in person be in attendance and be participants of it. If my wife had a meeting that night and I was home with my kids, I'm not going to bring them to that meeting if it's at 6 o'clock at night. Now, it's not that I'm at work, but I'm stuck at home. Like, my kids are going to sleep. I can't leave them alone. It's not going to happen. So by having it online, it still allows me to be a participant. It still allows me to see what's going on in my kids' school. Also, if I missed the meeting, forgot all about it, whatever the case, whatever happened, doesn't matter. I can always go back online, watch the video, and still know what's going to happen at my school and what's going on with my kids. And then that Tuesday after the meeting, then we're going to debrief. We're going to get the principal together, get the staff together. Hey, here's what the community said. Here was our kind of list of wants and needs. Here's how the community said they could meet them. Here's our request from the community. How can we help them out? And kind of start working that together. I'm going to continue this on in the next video.